Tub, I want to thank you all for coming and for all of your support for all of our employees over the years. It makes such an incredible difference, and your presence at events like this means so much to our employees, and our employees certainly recognize that and are grateful for that. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Today, we're recognizing 8 individuals. Not every one of them are here this afternoon, but the 8 individuals that are in your bulletin that you'll see, or in your program, I guess. See, I'm thinking this is like a Baptist church because I see everyone in the back row back here, so I'm assuming that that's your bulletin, not your program. But in your program, you see 8 individuals, and they have a combined years, these 8 individuals have a combined years of 187 years of service, which is incredible. It's almost 24 years of service each. So I think that's a testament to their love for the college, their commitment to the college, and their commitment to you. Many of you who have become much more than just colleagues and co-workers to them, but friends and family. So I'm very grateful for all that they have contributed. We do have gifts for each one of them here today. So if you're receiving if you're being recognized today as a retiree, please do not leave without your gift. And we will have those afterwards at the end of the ceremony. So with that being said, we'll begin our program. And our first retiree, as you'll see in your program, is Jerry Ann Dubry. Jerry Ann has served at the South Plains College for 29 years. A native of New Mexico, Jerry Ann moved to Hereford, where she was in the 5th grade. And after marrying her very best friend, Dane, she said that in print, so that's the truth. In 1996, Jerry Ann and Dane joined the SBC family and moved to Levelland. Jerry Ann started as a personnel payroll clerk, served as the SBC benefits coordinator, and was promoted to the director of human resources in 1999. She has served in that position for 26 years. Jerry Ann's work as HR director has become increasingly more complex over the years. When she started at South Plains College, there were approximately 431 full-time employees. Now take that into consideration, 431 employees serving 5,700 students. This year, when she's leaving, we have a total of 570 full-time employees, but then when you consider our adjunct faculty, our part-time employees, we have over 944 employees at the college, serving 9,800 students, which is a 72% increase over those when she started. And by the way, she did that with the same staff that she had in 1999. Is that correct, Jerry Ann? So maybe she's, now I know why she's retiring. So, but we're so grateful for that and for her hard work with that. Jerry Ann saw tremendous changes in how South Plains College does its business over the years, including many of the automation of the functions of the HR department. She also shared with me a number of times how impactful and maybe even a little bumpy some of these transitions have been, including the advent of email, where communication went from thousands of employees with print and time to send letters and envelopes to instantaneous delivery. Many times with the right message, many times with maybe a little bit of a unfiltered message, but many changes in the HR department over the years. The role of HR in any organization is unique because you have to maintain a very confidential and you have a very complex and comprehensive view of every employee. Jerry Ann has done that very well, maintaining that connection with employees, the confidentiality of the office, and the confidentiality of each one of the employees that she dealt with. But there are many things about Jerry Ann that many of you do not know that I've observed over the years. First, Jerry Ann was always an employee advocate. No matter what decision the college was facing, she would always sit down with me and share how it would impact the employees, both positively and negatively. She particularly served as a champion for those employees that did not have a prominent voice within the organization. She regularly reminded me the importance of our benefits and the competitive pay scale to ensure longevity with the college, and this strategy has definitely paid off with dividends as you look how many of our employees have saved so many years, largely in part to what she has done behind the scenes to ensure that it is a great place to work. Jerry Ann was also focused on equality among the South Plains College employees. Within many different employee categories, this is a significant challenge. However, Jerry Ann remained focused to ensure that pay scales, benefits, and opportunities were as consistent as they could possibly be. This was a gift, almost a mission of hers, to make South Plains College as positive and equitable place to work as possible. Jerry Ann also got to see the more challenging sides of HR over the years. She would often share that she could probably write a book with the unexpected and unimaginable circumstances that she navigated in her unique position of HR director. Of course, with her unwavering professionalism and confidentiality, I'm sure these stories probably will follow her to the grave, although they'll probably be very, very interesting and entertaining to read. The position of HR director comes with the ability to celebrate our employees, mourn with them, counsel them, share the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows with what they're experiencing. Jerry Ann was a master at treating each of these encounters with compassion, integrity, and calmness. Jerry Ann will miss your talents and gifts at South Plains College and wish you the very best in your new adventures, both personally and professionally. Please join me in applauding Jerry Ann Dubry for her 29 years of service at South Plains College.
First of all, I'll be honest, about 10 o'clock last night I realized I might have to say something. So I didn't sleep real well last night because I was thinking of this. But I did write it down because I have a tendency to get up here and even forget what my name is. So it's all written down. So I'm going to read it. So, first of all, I want to thank you all for being here today. It truly means the world to me and today. After 29 years at South Plains College, it's still hard to believe I'm standing here celebrating retirement. This college has been Dane and my second home for 3 decades of our life. We had been married 5 months when we moved from Clovis to Levelland and started working here at South Plains College, and we will celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary in February. I've had the privilege of working alongside so many wonderful colleagues, and if I started naming names, I know I'd leave someone out. But I do want to especially recognize some people who have meant so much to me on this journey, mainly Terry Busby and Emma Maldonado. We worked together for over 20 years. And Irene came along and was a big blessing to our office too. I couldn't have asked for better partners, co-workers, or friends. So they probably know more about me than my doctor, my hairdresser, and probably my family. Their support, their humor, and their dedication have carried me through more days than I can count. Terry, Emma, and Irene, thank you for standing with me through the highs, the challenges, and every why is this happening moment. I will always remember our friendship and treasure it. Working in human resources has been quite an adventure, giving me a front row seat to the heart of this college, the people. I've watched employees grow, departments change, and challenges turn into opportunities. And every step of the way, I've been surrounded by individuals who care deeply about this place and about each other. I was going to say some days felt like a reality show that should not be televised, but I decided to go with the nicer version. To everyone here, thank you for trusting me, supporting me, and making these 29 years meaningful. I'm leaving with a full heart and a deep sense of gratitude. While I'm thoroughly enjoying my next chapter, returning to the banking world, I do miss the daily connections, the conversations, and the laughter. South Plains College will always be a part of my story. Last but not least, I also want to thank my family. Dane, our daughter Annie, and our son-in-law Eli, who we're so proud of. And we're expecting our first grandbaby in April, and we are so excited. So, our son Sam was not able to be here, and to be honest, he had to choose between the Big 12 championship trip last weekend or his parents' retirement reception, and you see what won, and we understand. So, thank you for honoring each retiree today the way South Plains College always does, and thank you for making these 29 years such a wonderful and unforgettable part of my life.
Our next retiree is Dane Dubry. Dane is also retiring with 29 years of service to the college. Dane's connection with the college, though, extended way beyond his 29 years of full-time employment here. Dane often shared that he essentially grew up on the South Plains College campus. Many of you don't know, and this is a very kind of a special connection, that Dane's mother worked at South Plains College for 29 years. So that's really special. During that time, Dane spent many hours at South Plains College buildings, events, celebrations. Dane went on to enroll as a student at South Plains College, which is where I first met him, and had the privilege of having him as a fellow student and friend. Dane's time at South Plains College was multifaceted. He joined the college as a distance learning specialist with distance education was just being explored by colleges and universities across the state and nation. His job consisted of developing the ITV mechanisms, which we taught from a distance. Additionally, he taught several classes at South Plains College. Dane eventually transitioned over to the marketing and communications department, where he grew his career and helped navigate the ever-changing world of marketing for the college. As you can imagine, when Dane took over, the most extensive media formats were print, radio, maybe just a little bit of television. Since then, Dane has grown the college's marketing efforts to include every single type of media, including the advent and ever-developing digital media, where the college has an extensive presence. Under Dane's leadership, South Plains College has won 31 regional awards and 8 national awards from the National Council for Marketing and Publications. Dane's career was culminated with receiving the District 4 Communicator of the Year award this year, and he will be eligible for the national award, which will be announced in March of 2026. In addition to his recognition at the college, Dane was also the recipient of the Ambassador of the Year award in 2009 and the Education Professional Award in 2018 through the Levelland Chamber of Commerce. He also served as the chair of the Levelland Chamber of Commerce in 2024 and 2025 as a representative of South Plains College. Over the years, Dane's influence has touched so many aspects of the college and individuals within the college. He will undoubtedly be remembered and respected as the growing image and the brand of the college with excellence and professionalism. He was the voice that introduced our commencement ceremonies every single year, and more celebrated probably, the voice that reminded students and employees that class was delayed or was canceled for the day. He was the hand behind the production of thousands of South Plains College publications and the vision behind advancing the college's presence in an ever-changing world of higher education. Dane's co-workers know that he has managed his division with genuine compassion and respect that has enabled them to thrive both individually and collectively. Even though Dane is retiring and moving on to other interests, his impact will remain on South Plains College for many years to come. Please join me in congratulating Dane Dubry on 29 years of service to South Plains College.
Okay, who's starting the clock on how long it takes for the tears to come down? I've already heard there's a pool. It's been an honor to tell the South Plains College story. God, I'm going to do this. But it has been an honor. This place has been special to me. I did grow up on this campus. From the time we moved to Levelland, Texas, when I was 11 years old, it was about a year later when my mother started working here. And I was here for field trips from middle school all the way through high school. Went to all types of events during that time, and then had the opportunity to enroll as a student in 1988. And that's where I first met my mentor, John Sparks. And it's such an honor that he's here today as well. Olga actually also taught Annie in kindergarten, so they're very special people to us. My friend Billy over here, we go way back as well, and along with Chispas, and two of my favorite people. I learned a lot from both of them, actually. Again, I can't say enough about how special this place is to me, to my family. My kids, all of them have attended here, Eli included. Our son, he lived in the dorms when he was a student here, and we lived 3 blocks from campus, and he loved every bit of it. And so it's been a special place, and it will always be a special place to my family. We're not done. There's still Dubry on the payroll. Our son teaches dual credit. Eli works here, so maybe another 29 years. That's the magic number for us. But I want to thank my staff, Adrian, Jessica, Chris, Nathan, and Adon. They made my job easy and fun, and I can't appreciate a staff more. And so I want to thank y'all as well. Again, it's been an honor to serve this college. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I don't know if a lot of you may feel the same way about these retirement receptions are coming around quicker and quicker and quicker every year. It's one of the things I've learned about this. Another thing I've learned as I'm getting older is when I'm printing something, my font numbers seem to increase. I think I'm up to like 22 now. But anyway, it's an honor and a privilege to introduce 2 of the 4 employees from the physical plant that are retiring. Polo Mendez and Rosa Torres were unable to be here with us today on this special day. Polo served as the maintenance supervisor at the Reese Center for 13 years, and Rosa served as a custodian at the Reese Center for 21 years. Their information is in your handout. When you have time, read through that. It's really good. Our 4 retirees from the physical plant have a combined 82 years of service to the faculty, staff, and students of South Plains College. That's a ton of experience and service that SPC is losing, and as always, will be a challenge to replace. But first, I'd like to introduce to you David Gonzalez. David was born and raised in Littlefield, where he graduated from Littlefield High School in 1989 as a salutatorian. He then moved to Mineral Wells for about 10 years before coming to work at South Plains College after hearing about a job opening in the grounds department from his mother-in-law, Bertha Orsornio, who was a former custodian here. And he's been here ever since. David has served on the grounds crew at almost all levels that we have. He started out on trash duty and worked his way up by obtaining his pest control license and gaining experience by helping out with normal day-to-day duties of lawn care as well as landscaping projects. He was an important part of the crews that developed and constructed many of the wonderful outdoor areas that we enjoy today on our campus. But there are many aspects of the grounds department that may not be as glorified as creating spaces that our employees, students, and community enjoy. There's those early mornings during the winter, ice, snow, where hours and hours are spent spreading salt and clearing snow so that our patrons have safe and clear routes to and from class and their dorms. There's those hot and humid days, spending hours clearing flower beds, string trimming, gathering and picking up leaves, emptying trash cans, and all the other aspects of our grounds department. There are the long days of being on your knees, preparing areas, leveling sand, and laying pavers to improve the looks and the functions of walkways and outdoor sitting areas. David has probably been a part of installing of at least about 90% of the areas that have pavers now over his 25 years here at South Plains College. David served as the lead on the brick paver project at both the Founders Plaza as well as the Distinguished Alumni Plaza. He also played an important part of the annual tree lighting activities, and his fingerprints are all over the Levelland campus. And he has a lot to be proud of, and we owe David a ton of thanks for what he has accomplished. Over the years, there have been numerous grounds employees come and go that will no doubt continue to be the case. But during David's time here, he has been known to be a steadfast and hard worker in whatever task that has been assigned to him. Brian Gerstenberger, the ground supervisor here, stated, "David's dedication to SPC will leave a mark of caring and professionalism." In his bio, David says that he enjoyed working at South Plains College and all it has done to support his family, and that knowing he's able to contribute to SPC in his own way and to his co-workers and the students, it has given him a sense of accomplishment that he can feel good about. And he should be very proud of his accomplishments, as many will be utilized and enjoyed by our students, faculty and staff, and community for years to come. In his retirement, he says he plans on spending more time with his wife Cecilia and the rest of his family, as well as dedicating more time to his faith and church, and spending more time traveling, playing golf, and playing pickleball. David, we wish to thank you for your service here at South Plains College and your dedication to your co-workers and all of your hard work. We wish you nothing but the best in all of your pursuits during your retirement, and remember, you'll always have a second family here at South Plains College. Joe David Gonzalez.
There's a lot more people here now. I kept debating not if I was going to come up here or not, but I decided, well, why not? And everything I thought about I was going to say just went out. But just to keep it simple, I really appreciate all being here. I really appreciate my family who's been a great support in everything I've done. I have my wife here, Cecilia, and my daughter, Celine, and she's married to my son-in-law, Nathan. Then I have my cousins here, Delia, who's like a grandmother to my daughter. She's been in our life for forever. And her sister Irma, a cousin, a close cousin of ours. And then we have some dear friends that have been here, know me being here, working in whatever for a long time. I appreciate them being here. But all in all, I really have appreciated the opportunity I've had to be here at South Plains College. As Carrie mentioned, it's been rough at times, the weather. I already told my wife my next job is going to be inside, out of the elements. I think I've done enough outside. But anyways, I appreciate the time I've had with meeting new people, co-workers I've had. Brian Gerstenberger has been a real big help in just showing his appreciation for all that I've done, encouraged me to keep doing more, and I've learned a lot from that. And of course, administration. There's some good friends up there. In the last few months, I really appreciate. It's always nerve-wracking when you're making a big change, making decisions, but the Human Resources Department has been very helpful. And so I'd like to thank Emma and Irene and all who were there to make things just go smooth. And but it's been nice working here. one more thing I could say is I really appreciate Great Western Dining because they fed me for all these years. So if y'all see me back over here at the college, it'll probably be at the cafeteria. So it's always been good. Friends and family enjoy it and all. But again, just it's going to be different moving on. But I'm looking forward to doing other things with my family. We're caretakers to my dad, so I'll have my wife. She's played a big part in helping with my dad, but I'll have more in helping with that. And my spiritual family too, just being a big part of that. And that's what I really look forward to, just spending more time in doing what I like doing and appreciating in other ways that I can help other people. But again, thank you all, and I guess we'll see you when we see you.
I know you're probably thinking of opening up a hymnal here since this is the Baptist church. God said what I was talking about, but it is not. It's my notes, and I had it all scripted out, ready to go. Knew exactly what I wanted to do this afternoon for Mike. And we had a department chair meeting at noon, and now my brain is absolutely spaghetti. And so I'm going to try to get through this. And if you know me well enough, you know that when I go to meetings like a budget hearing meeting or a department chair meeting, departmental meeting, I have props. And so I'm known for my props. So bring up the first prop, if you were. I've got permission from Mike Harrison to do this before I start with him. Dane? You remember that day? I'm going to tell you a quick story about Dane because when I heard he was going to be retiring and he was going to be here today, I went, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. So I teach archery and kinesiology. Keep your hair up here. And this was several years ago. You may know exactly. But I decided we need to go outside and shoot archery for the class. It's a beautiful day. And I asked the late Jim Jenkins if we could go out and shoot into his round bills out there at the stables. And he said, absolutely. Well, the round bills were right up there against A&M Street. So we shot, and it's a beginning archery class. And sure enough, we had an arrow or two miss the bells and go out into the street. And I can't, you may have to help me here.
City water.
He was the city water employee for Levelland. And I think I went out and got the arrow, and he kind of confronted me a little bit. But I thought, hey, man, we didn't hit you or anything, so that's a good thing. So I thought it was over, and then I get a call from Dane, and Dane wants to meet with me, and I'm going, oh, what's Dane want to meet with me for? And I walk over there and say, well, we've been contacted by the employee. Yes, and he was worried about getting hit with arrows. And more than worried, he thought we were attacking him. I think we were behind the round bills to see if we could get him. And to this day, if I'd ever see him, this employee driving around, I would just kind of look down or make sure he didn't recognize me. But it all turned out. That was one of my most fondest memories with you, Dave. Sorry, we got a good laugh out of it. And we never shot out there at the round bills again. We changed it after that. All right, here's what I'm here for. Mike Harrison asked me to do his introduction, and to me it's not because I'm his immediate supervisor, but it's more about the friendship we've built over the many years that he's been here. He's been here for 23 years, I do believe. And I've got to experience all 23 years, and they've been wonderful. I would take my youngest daughter daily when she was 4, 5, or 6 years old. And we would take her to the natatorium to go swim. She loved it. And she would always ask, hey, when are we going to go back? When are we going to go back? And believe it or not, I just talked to her this morning. She's 24 years old now, has her own family. And I said, hey, I'm doing an introduction for Mike Harrison. And this is what she called him at 4. This is what she calls him at 24. Oh, the swimming pool guy. I just started laughing. I said, yeah, that's exactly right. And she first mentioned, she said, oh, he's the one who would always give us M&M peanuts. Give her M&M peanuts after the swim or something like that. And I said, yep, that's it. Not only is Mike proficient in teaching aquatics, he has been our go-to person for our golf classes, as well as other classes. He's bailed me out with a recycling class, weight training, pretty much anything, if I was in a pinch, he could do because of his experience, and you can read that in the program. It's vast, and I took advantage of that, and he didn't mind whatsoever. One semester, several of us competed in the Dancing with Texans competition here on campus that Vanessa Reales organized, and it was fun. It was a blast. But then we all started thinking when that Mike showed up, who can compete with a tall, lanky guy that's all arms and legs dancing the jitterbug? We knew at that point we were all just going for second place. And sure enough, he won it that year. Right? He did, and that was fun. A lot of times, I guess here in my last few years, I started swimming a lot more because of knee issues and whatnot. And when I get through swimming in the afternoon, I just make it a point to stop by his office and talk to him. We'd visit about students, classes, kids and grandkids, our old knees, and what we were going to do about them. And I think he would talk about Blackboard attendance feature. Did you ever get that figured out? You don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. I'm not sure what new aquatics director we're going to get, or if they're going to spoil me the way he did. I would be swimming, getting into a good hard workout in. He'd have to leave before I got to visit with him. And he'd let me know he's heading out. And so after I got through swimming, I'd crawl out of the pool, I'd dry off. Well, before I dried off, I went over there and there was a little piece of candy waiting for me. Hey, Ryan, can you bring me that bag? Prop number 2. And on my towel, there was always a little Reese candy bar. And it could have been, it's the Reese holiday things, but it was always the ones that he would buy cheaply after the holidays were over. And he had a cool little refrigerator in his office. And I knew that's where he stashed them. But he would have it just laying there. And I'd go, you gotta be kidding me. And thought that was the best thing in the world. And then if he was there, I would go sit in a chair and we would talk about all these things. And he would notice I'd be looking over at the white refrigerator and he'd say, yeah, go ahead and get some more. So what I've done is I'm going to start repaying some of those back today, Mike. I got you some Christmas ones. Even before Christmas, not after Christmas. All right. I will miss those laid-back, informal conversations the most. I think faith, family, and friendship will continue to guide Mike and Vicki through whatever life gives them. And we're missing a lot. So, welcome to the mic, Mike. Mike Harrison, Director of the Natatoriums and BCology. I think he needs to tell you the story about the student wanting to know what the natatorium was.
And I get to keep this? All right. They're not old. Boy, it's been a great time here. Not many of you know that I have worked 3 junior colleges, and I learned something at all. I enjoyed them all, but South Plains, it's at the top of the list by a long shot. Everybody here's been great. I love going to see everybody across campus because I always got smiles. They would talk to me. Every department, you know, they acted like I was the main one coming in, and they had all their time for me, and boy, it was just a special time. He asked, I got a phone call one time, a student says, what is a natatorium? Is that where you study gnats? No, and my department was so good. And Mark said, you know, I taught lots of things, but if I go over there and ask anybody what they did in their class, they would pour out to me. And, you know, I had taught a lot of them before, but I didn't mind picking them up because I knew, you know, I'm going to be supported and helped in any way possible. And that's the good thing about this college. You know, we're all here for the students, and everything is about the students, and that it's not about your department or what you do in your department, it's how you serve the students, and that's what I love the best. And you know, and it's great to be a teacher. Wow, you get to meet all these kids, and well, I had shoulder surgery about 4 years ago, rotator cuff, and I'm laying there fixing to get zapped and put under, and all of a sudden a girl working on a computer goes, "You were my water aerobics instructor." I said, "Yes, I remember that." And then she goes in there, and another guy that's getting to take me under looks over and he goes, "He was my swim coach." So he came over. So here, we never know what those students are going to be doing to us, but you know, it's so good to work. I mean, gosh, I just can't express how much fun I've had here. It's been fun every day. And when I say every day, I've missed one day in 23 years of not working here. So, from being sick, I should say. And so, you know, and I always, they say, you know, why are you quitting? Gosh, it's tough. I started in '73 as a lifeguard, was aquatic director for the city of Lubbock, been through 3 colleges, and they said, "You wanted a new pool." And I said, "I sure did." And man, we've been, I even drew some diagrams up for Mr. Tubbs when I was working for him, and you know, we talked about it back then, and it's finally coming on. They're going, "You're getting your new pool." But here I am, 70. I don't know how long I could run that new pool. So we're wanting to travel and get out and do a few things, and so we're going to be doing that. I just want to applaud everybody that works for South Plains College, because everyone here is a special person, and you'll always be a spot in my heart. And man, I recognize faces, and if I don't say something, something's going on, because I love to visit and talk with y'all and get around. And I'm going to tell one remembrance stories here that happened when I hadn't been on campus very long. It was a competitive faculty take on the students in basketball. And we got a team together, lots of the faculty still here, including Alan Worley, and a teacher at that time. But anyway, we took them on, and it came down to the end, and we were tied with about 30 seconds to go, and Mr. Worley gets fouled. So he steps up, he hits his foul shot, and it's the first time I've ever seen it, and I know it was scheduled. He slammed it off the rim and got the rebound on the side. And so he dribbled around, we made a couple of passes. Well, they fouled him again. So same thing happens. Now they get the rebound this time, but there's only like 3 seconds on the clock. So faculty beat the students, and I think it's so much fun, but that's how the faculty get involved. We don't just teach our classes and go home. Everybody out here gets in. I mean, I've heard students tell me stories of talking with teachers, and they have time for them, and they go in the students, and well, that's special. That's special here, folks, and you know, y'all are all about the students. But I just want to thank everybody for putting up with me for 23 years and always being there for me. And I always say you're loving on me and I'm loving on you. And we just thank you. Thank you for the good time I've had here.
I've said this many times in the past, but as long as I can remember, we've been blessed in the physical plant with many, many wonderful employees who are an absolute joy to work with. But there are always a certain few that really stand out and were beyond exceptional. And that brings me to Betty Mendez. Betty was hired by Yolanda Moore some 23 years ago. And that began a long and wonderful career here at South Plains College. When Betty was first hired, she began serving at North Sioux Spencer, where, as you can imagine, is a very unique environment. Working in dorms is always an adventure. And back in that time, all the dorms had a dorm mom. And if you lived in a dorm during that time, the dorm mom was, well, your mom. Georgianne, or Miss Georgianne, she was known as in the physical plant, was a dorm mom in North Sioux, and she and Betty forged a wonderful friendship and working relationship that kept everything running smooth and efficient. After 16 years of serving in the dorm, Betty moved to the communications building, where she spent the remainder of her time at SPC. She stated that the faculty at the communications building didn't feel like co-workers, but they felt like family. So you're probably wondering what makes Betty exceptional. I'll tell you. Betty was one of those employees who had mastered all of the aspects of her duties. From knowing what chemicals were to be used for a specific job, knowing when particular jobs were to be completed, and most importantly, knowing what the expected results were when the job was completed. Betty was one of those employees that other custodial staff could go to and ask advice on particular cleaning procedures, what works best, when's the best time to do it, or ask her if she could show them how a particular job or process was completed. Betty was also one you could go to at times, and as well as myself, could lean on. Meaning that there were several times when Yolanda or Linda would be out on vacation or out sick. We could depend on Betty to kind of step in and fill in that role as needed. And I myself am very thankful that she was willing to do that. Betty was one that never complained about her duties, was easy to work with, and very protective of her buildings of responsibility, which is what you want in an employee. Linda Chapa, the custodial supervisor, had this to say about Betty. I've truly enjoyed our time working together, and I'm so grateful for your guidance, friendship, and support that you've provided over the years. Linda goes on to say that I've learned so much from your leadership, and I especially appreciate the time we've had working together over the years. Your contributions have been invaluable to the team, and your presence has been greatly missed. So when I look at retirement, I kind of look at maybe slowing down a bit, sitting back, relaxing, just watching the world go by. Not Betty. In her retirement, Betty is spending time doing various projects around her home. Betty also lives across the street from her mother, which affords her the opportunity to see her and help take care of her on a daily basis. And Betty also has an adopted son, Alexander, who is in the 4th grade. So no slack time for Betty, as she spends her days making sure he gets to all of his activities. You go, girl. Betty, today we are not only saying thank you for your invaluable service at SPC, but more importantly, thank you for being you. We miss you. We wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. And please remember that you also have a second family here at South Plains College. Betty Mendez.
So I'd like to say congratulations one more time to all of these employees and your retirees. I know you have great plans for your retirement, but you will certainly be missed here at South Plains College. I hope you still come to visit us. I hope you come see us. You've been instrumental in the development of our great college, and we want to say a special thank you to your service for here at South Plains. I hope you all have a very good end of your semester. If you are a retiree, please come up here before everyone comes and grabs you and wants to talk to you, hug you, kiss you, share your candy, anything else. We need your picture first and foremost. So please, immediately at the conclusion of this, please come up here, get your picture. Please do not leave without getting your gift from South Plains College. I hope all the employees have a great end of the semester. Thank you for being here today, and Merry Christmas.